Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football, a storyline that I just think is flying under the radar that really shouldn't be. Is what quarterback that Tennessee is going to go after in the transfer portal. No, I think it's important to mention right off the bat here that there's a very good chance that the quarterback that Tennessee wants to go after is not currently in the transfer portal as we sit Monday afternoon. Everybody's talking about Nico. Everybody's talking about Nico going to UCLA, and nobody's really talking about Tennessee just kind of waiting in the weeds and looking to pounce on a quarterback that they think they can win football games with in 2025. Now, as we've said all along, Tennessee has some confidence in guys like George McIntyre and Jake Merklinger. But you also know that Josh Heupel wants to add another arm into this room heading into 2025. What quarterback will that be? Is the question mark that I think more people need to talk about. I'm a fan of where Tennessee or how Tennessee is going about their business in terms of trying to find their quarterback. They're not rushing the process. At the end of the day, one, we know Tennessee, especially with all that money that was earmarked to Nico, we know Tennessee is sitting on some money to go make a play. We know that Josh Heupel and this Tennessee offense are a very intriguing destination for any quarterback across the country. There's no need to get desperate early. And as we still have the transfer portal window opening and players are coming in there, you've seen Steve Angeli pop in. There's no need for Tennessee to go after him immediately to grab a quarterback. I think you can be patient and continue to do your due diligence. And look, at the end of the day, if you want to turn it up on a guy like Steve Angeli, you're probably going to beat out a team like Syracuse for his services. Now, I think the new quarterback to talk about, we got a couple of quarterbacks to talk about, but the bigger name, or I think the most public name you might say, is Joey Aguilar transferring from UCLA. One, I think it'd be a facet, just as a pure college football fan, Tennessee takes in Joey Aguilar, has a good season, puts up better numbers than Nico. I think that would be a phenomenal storyline for a lot of Tennessee fans. And look, secondly, Joey Aguilar is a very exciting quarterback. Now, there are things that you like. There are things that you certainly don't like. But at the very least, him playing in this Tennessee offense is going to be dang fun to watch every single Saturday. Is Tennessee going to kick the tires and really get aggressive for Joey Aguilar? That's the question. Now, him reportedly entering his name into the portal Monday morning, and you see the three teams that emerge: Wake Forest, Tulane, and Tennessee. How hard is Tennessee going to go after Joey Aguilar? That's kind of the conversation I want to get into, and got a couple other quarterbacks that I want to talk about too. Before we get into it, as always, the Tennessee fans, y'all let it fly in the comment section. We've had a lot of conversations about quarterback options for Tennessee. I personally had a blast talking about it. The amount of support y'all have shown the fellas has been amazing. Appreciate you guys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And look, if there's one thing I've learned over the last couple of days, every Tennessee fan has a take and has a quarterback they want. Y'all let it fly in the comment section. We'll chop it up down there. Without further ado, let's start with Joey Aguilar. A name that is expected to enter the transfer portal. Tennessee is expected to be a player for Joey Aguilar. Let's start with the positives. The positives is that this kid has the arm to make every throw in the Josh Heupel offense. I mean, the arm is live. The arm is big. He can attack the boundary. He can attack the deeper third. He can do anything you want. Now, the thing that you don't like as much is, number one, puts the ball in harm's way probably a little bit more than anybody's comfortable with. Had 26 turnover-worthy plays at App State in 2024. You turn on the film and say, he's not afraid to try to fit the ball into some tight areas and put the ball in harm's way, which is good to an extent till you want to make some big-time plays. But you have to be able to walk that line probably a little bit more effectively than Joey Aguilar has during times at App State. The second thing that maybe is a little bit of a concern is the production dip that you saw in 2024. You go back to the 2023 season, a 63% completion percentage, over 3,700 yards, 33 touchdowns to only 10 interceptions. We're a very good football player at the G5 level in 2023. Now, those numbers dip a little bit in 2024. The turnovers go up a little bit. That's probably something that you have to do your due diligence in terms of, hey, why did we see a little bit of a regression in the 2024 year? And there could be some other factors, no doubt, at play in terms of the dip in production. That's kind of what you're looking at with Joey Aguilar. And at the end of the day, I mean, he made more big time throws in 2024 than Nico made all of the 2024 season at Tennessee. Like, this is a guy that I think offers you a higher ceiling than a guy like Steve Angeli. And Steve Angeli may be the more consistent quarterback, keep the ball out of harm's way, but probably not be that much of a playmaker. Joey Aguilar is going to be a little bit more of a playmaker, probably turn the ball over a little bit more. Is that the kind of quarterback that Tennessee wants to go after? My final evaluation is it'd be really fun. It'd be one, a fun storyline. It'd be two, just like this kid's a fun player to watch on the film. It'd be fun to see him in the Tennessee offense. But I still, if I'm Tennessee, I'm being patient. And that doesn't mean you don't keep a guy like Joey Aguilar warm and maybe take him on a visit, but you're still doing your due diligence across the country, because the way I see it, we know Tennessee has the money. We know they have the head coach and offense to really offer an attractive landing spot. Let's just be patient and let's see what other quarterbacks might become available. And one of those names, and y'all know I ain't trying to be no insider here. And I only kind of talk about it when there's enough smoke, there might be a fire. I think Luke Altmire, it's probably time to have that conversation. Like, you've seen a lot of buzz around Luke Altmire at Illinois, who I think it would be simply an upgrade from Nico in the 2025 year. Like, Luke Altmire in 2024 was a better quarterback that was more accurate, was a better decision maker, and kept the ball out of harm's way better than Nico. You take a look at his numbers: 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, playing in the Big Ten, playing some of the best defenses that you see across college football. So one, he has the ideal starting experience that you're looking like. He has the ideal production at the Power 4 level that you're looking like. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that offer that. One of the bigger question marks for a guy like Joey Aguilar is, look, you're jumping up from App State to the SEC. What's that jump going to look like? Luke Altmire, started his career in the SEC at Ole Miss, but has been doing a very good job in the Big Ten at Illinois the last 2 years. You kind of know he can play at the level necessary for Tennessee. And I think it makes a lot of sense in terms of he's a one-year guy. He's going to come in, I think, be a quarterback that you can make the college football playoffs with, be that stopgap quarterback until guys like Jake Merklinger, George McIntyre, and Faison Brandon are ready to rock and roll. This one would make a lot of sense. And if I'm a Tennessee fan, I would be fired up about Luke Altmire. Last name I'll just throw out there, Noah Fifita. Man, I love this kid. I think he'd be such a fun addition to the Tennessee offense. Like, number one, should preface, there's not a ton of smoke around Noah Fifita. This is just like my personal name that I'd really like to see get out of Arizona. Like, Arizona's just not a very good football team. There was a dip in his production in 2024. That had a lot to do with, like, yes, they had him. They had Noah Fifita. They had a really good tackle. That was about it. You had a new coaching staff with a new offense. Jedd Fisch left for Washington. There's a lot of reasons to explain the dip in production from Noah Fifita. That does not change my opinion that this kid is an absolute gamer at the quarterback position that I think would drastically elevate this Tennessee offense. And that's kind of the crux of the question here. Is Tennessee going to play it safe and grab a guy like Steve Angeli? Or are they going to go out and try to get a guy that, I mean, even a guy like Joey Aguilar offers a higher ceiling, but maybe a little bit more of a roller coaster? I mean, Noah Fifita, Luke Altmire, those are guys that I think can elevate the offense, are not that risky of additions. To me, that makes the most amount of sense. And again, there's a lot of quarterbacks that I think would be very interested in being the quarterback one for Tennessee in 2025. I'm a fan of Tennessee's process here. No need to be desperate. No need to rush this process. Like, let's be patient. Let's see what the quarterback market's going to look like. And once we get a good feel for what it's going to look like, then we can start turning it up on these quarterbacks. I understand the concern for Tennessee fans, and that is, well, if we wait too long, we might just be holding an empty bag. Look, if you wanted to turn it up on a guy like Joey Aguilar later in the process, and I'm as a Wake Forest alum, if it's coming down to you and Wake Forest and Tennessee wanted to go get him, Tennessee be winning that recruit battle every single time. Let's just be real about it. So I think you have the ability to be kind of patient and let this process kind of play out. We'll close it out there. Tennessee fans, y'all let it fly in the comment section. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.